Hi, sweetheart. So I was thinking that I wanted to do uh, a song for what's the first name? Figueroa. I forget his Edwin. So if you call them and you figure it out to give them the link, and then you text me, I'm going to do a song dedicated to him on my program tonight. But it's now 9:04. I'm online, so I can't speak anymore. Okay. So, oh, my friends, hi there. I guess many of you saw you may have seen the portion, the complete portion of the Parkland students uh, song. But now, where did I put? Oh, there it is. Yeah, singing on the broadcast this morning, the call for unity. But it's and you may wonder why it was different from what I sent you as a link to see. I think that occurred because yesterday I got, sometimes when you wake up and there's something in your eye and you have an abrasion on the cornea or a scratch, and it's really painful, but it does go away if you take a hot shower and you put Visine in and things like that, and then you sleep well. I was just out yesterday, and what happened was that I kept on being emailed that I had to confirm that on this. They only gave it to me at the last minute that I was taking responsibility for indemnifying them if I was singing the songs, and I think there was a loss there. So in the end, I don't know if I sang anything. I think what I did was, but that wasn't the point. The whole point of that was not to get me more exposure. But just I chimed in. I was there, but to see the work of the Parkland students, which I think is amazing and wonderful, and I'm so proud of it. And I did show you one of the songs, and not tonight, but another time I'll show you the song "Shine" on this, and then it's time to show you some extraordinary videos that have been made. And so I've not seen any of that stream that ended an hour ago, but it was very worthy effort and very, very powerful, and it did announce. If you read the terrific piece that was written by Sean, that it was just did it pro bono and everything, and it speaks about the whole concept of what this is. And there's a lot going on. I've lost a friend, a friend to Operation Respect. Is one of our trainers that trained thousands and thousands of teachers to do the Don't Laugh at Me program. And when I get the word, they're going to put him, he's in a hospice, and I sang to him today with Elizabeth Golodny and Mark Weiss, and I'm going to dedicate a song to him. So that'll be part of this evening. I'm glad to see you all. And, we have our group, and then people come in and out, but some of you are constant friends. So Otoshi is here. I'll be darned. It's wonderful. By the way, I wanted to tell you, hi, Tom Zamgrodsky. Mwah. Love you, man. Toshi in Tokyo. Toshi is one of the very big activists in the Peter, Paul, and Mary legacy effort there that carries on the tradition of the songs and the spirit of what we did. And Andy Ogawa, who is one of my dearest friends in the world, who is there, it's very much a part of that. and Carol Nash. Carol, I am assuming you are in Australia and hunkered down, and Robert Cohen. And you're saying hello to each other. And so, uh, and Tony Ransom says, hello from Askill, New York. Arkville. Thank you, Peter. That was good. And then Basia. Yes, Basia, I tried to get to Joni, but I didn't. I mean, I left a message with my love and my concern, but we didn't speak. And on and on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by singing, but I'm just telling you that this coronavirus and its tragedy is coming closer. There was an article that was written by Gail Sheehy that just brings it all. It just needs one vignette about one person to let you understand how this is impacting us. And this is a nurse who was airlifted, if you will, to New York to work in the hospitals and what she's experiencing. And until you see it with that kind of close-up, meticulous lens, you really don't get what's going on here. So. Listen, Mr. Bigot, listen to me. I'll give you a lesson, history. Listen while I tell you that the foreigners you hate, the very same people made America great. Listen, Mr. Bigot, listen to me. I'll give you a lesson in history. Listen while I tell you that the foreigners you hate are the very same people made America great. Can you try that with me? Singing along. Listen, Mr. Bigot. Listen, Mr. Bigot. Listen, I'll give you a lesson. I'll give you a lesson in. Listen while I tell you. Listen while I tell you that the foreigners are the very same people. Very same people made America great. What was that? The foreigners you hate are the very same people. Are the what? The foreigners are the people that made America great? Well, who said that? They could get arrested for saying, no. It's written in 1947 by Bob Claiborne, who I've been revisiting in some things that I'll be telling you about. 1947, he said, yes. What made America great? Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah. Well, in 1492, just to see what he could see, Columbus, who was an Italian, set out across the sea. He said, Isabella, baby, the world is round, and the USA is just waiting to be found. Oh, listen, wait a second. What did you say? What did you say? You said, what? There are people there? You didn't find it? I found it. I found it. I found it. It's mine, right? No, you didn't find it. There were people there. They're called indigenous people. In Europe, we really, please. Oh my God, Mr. Bigot, listen to me. I'll give you a lesson in history. Listen while I tell you the foreigners you hate. The very same people made America great. Try singing it with me. Listen, Mr. Bigot. Listen, Mr. Bigot. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'll give you a lesson. Give you a lesson. History. Listen, I tell you. Listen while I tell you that the foreigners are the very same people made America great. When the King of England started pushing Yanks around, they had a little trouble. In Boston town, Bob Storley, there was a brave Negro. Crispus Attucks was the man. He was the first one to fall when the fighting began. A Negro? Yes, that was the term they used in the 1940s and 50s This song was written in the 1947, and it was a very distinguished way to say something other than a less accepting, caring way. These are people of color that were Negro. And the first one to fall in the Revolutionary War was a listen, Mr. Bigot, listen to me. I'll give you a lesson in it. Listen while I tell you. Listen while I tell you that the part person. Are you singing? Try it. Listen, Mr. Bigot, listen. I want to hear you clear. I'll give you a lesson in this. Now listen. Now. Listen while I tell you that the part of very same people made America great. Now, Bigot, you're taking a hell of a chance. Your good friends, the Dupons, came over from France. Another thing I'm sure will be news to you. The first Mr. Bigot was a foreigner, too. Oh, yes. Oh, listen, Mr. Bigot, listen to me. I'll give you a lesson in history. Listen when I tell you that the foreigners you hate are the very same people made America great. You don't like blacks, you don't like Jews. Anything you do like it sure is news. You don't like Poles, Italians, Catholics too. Anyway, they serve you up. We're not terribly fond of you. Oh, everybody with me. Listen, Mr. Bigot, listen to me. I'll give you a lesson in history. Listen while I tell you that the foreigners you hate. There is a people made it. Sing with me. Listen, Bigot, listen to me. I'll give you a lesson in history. Listen while I tell you that the foreigners you hate are the very same people that made America great. You understand where you're from, Queens? Well, listen to me. I'm telling you. Listen, Mr. Bigot. Listen to me. I'll give you a lesson in history. Listen while I tell you that the foreigners you hate are the very same people, the very same people, the very same people that America great. Yeah. This is from Elizabeth Kalani. And he says that you called and sent a text message. Well, we'll wait. We'll see for a while, and then if they return, otherwise I'll do it absolutely, and it can be played back to them. Yes, sweetheart. Okay, thank you. Yes, we've got. This is called a a backdoor negotiation. She's calling up the family of Edwin Figueroa to tell them that I'd like to dedicate a song to him online. But if he doesn't come back, I'll do it. But it would be great if you saw it live. So, my friends, here we are again. Mumin Kumi Elliot. Yay! Good to see you, my brother. Rabbi Elliot Kleinman is here. Jackie, you and I are going to talk after this program. It was a day and a half for me, but here we go. So today is a movement songs. And that was a movement song because, as Martin Luther King explained, you can't have freedom without justice, and you can't have peace without freedom, and you can't have freedom without peace. That's why he took the civil rights movement, and he against a lot of objections, and he made a lot of brilliant analyses of why they were to do it. A lot of people said, "Well, don't we're the civil rights movement. Let the anti-war movement progress on its own, but we can't involve ourselves in that. That's not. It'll destroy us. We can't take that on." As well, he said, "Well, We can't not do it, because he said, if we do, we will not be protecting ourselves as we should, because these two things go hand in hand. And we are thinking about these things now. What is it that's going to prevent the next coronavirus? Or what is it that's going to make sure that when we get, if it's an inevitable reality, when we get another coronavirus or another version of it, that we don't have some people in certain circumstances in our world totally vulnerable, and other people who are totally protected. And the more that I read about this, the more I realize how privileged, as David Sable said, and I talked about this the other night, we're not all in the same boat. We're in the same storm, but some of us have a rowboat, and some of us are equipped with a battleship or an ocean liner, or maybe maybe you've got plastic water wings. And how we have to throw lifelines to each other. We have to form a fleet. We have to form an armada. And I started writing a song about that, which I haven't had a moment to get to, but I will. Okay. So one of the things that was most important in the movements was the sense of solidity and surety that what we were doing was going to produce the results that we were hoping for. And it's interesting, if you watch Peter, Paul, and Mary singing on that show on PBS, where you saw us in 1963, 64, 65, we were singing songs like this that I'm going to sing. And what I got from watching us, besides the facts that Mary was stunningly beautiful in a most a natural way. She was, you were just seeing Mary as she was. It wasn't she looked that way off camera, You see her in that, when we were rehearsing, no makeup, no nothing. I mean, not that she didn't put on some eyeliner or something, but she was the real deal. She was. Now, I never had a romantic feeling about Mary. I mean, I don't know what was wrong with me, but we were closer than close, and I was aware of her beauty, but never the way I was when I saw that. It just was stunning, and I understood, that a lot of what initially was so arresting about the group was Mary's presence, which was powerful, and the many layers of her beauty and her capacity to invoke a certain kind of emotional power that was in her voice when she sang. And she wasn't singing the words, she was living the message. And when she sings, "Come, mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging, Please get out of the new one. If you can, lend a hand. For the times they are a change. When she did that, she wasn't just saying, hey, mothers and fathers, get out of the way. She was saying, if you can't, we must. No disrespect intended, but we must follow this path, and you will not constrain us. So it wasn't some insensitive, get out of the way, man. No, it was a very nuanced statement. So I'm going to sing the whole song. This was part of it stating, listen to this song and listen to Peter Palmieri singing it then. You say triumphantly, this, the times are changing, and they were changing for the better. And there was no way that was not observable on all our parts. Gather around people wherever you roam, and admit that the water around you has grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. For the times, they are a change. You say, can't hear you. For the times, they are a change. That's what I want to hear. So let's analyze these words just a little bit, then I'll finish the song. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown. The scale of things that is happening is enlarged. And you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. You've got to realize that this is different now. We are going to go into another era. Okay, come mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can lend a hand. For the times, they are a change. With you. For the So, look, it says, come mothers and fathers throughout the land. Now, it's your old road. Now, I'm not, at the time, I was way under 30, but there was time, don't trust anybody over 30. Believe it or not, that was the conventional wisdom. Well, I am over 30. And how do I feel about that? I think that in those days, it was true that there were many people who were of a more advanced age who were really terrific and deeply involved and committed. I mean, certainly Pete Seeger was no 30-year-old, but now we really know that it's not chronological age. It's a sense of either pulling back and trying to assert equations that are no longer going to get us, not only won't get us where we want to go, but they will be destructive if we do not have uh, equity and fairness. We will have the kind of division that sows the kind of hatred and the accessibility to those who would mobilize people who feel there is no hope in such a way that they can become part of, simply out of despair, of creating hope by through malice, through injury, through brutality. That's how it happens. That has to change if we're to get to where we want to go. We cannot simply say it's going to work out if we have an increasing number of billionaires and the rest of the people. If we have such a large proportion of the monetary wealth in the United States owned by such a small portion of people, it will come back to destroy them. It will be the French Revolution ultimately in today's terms, and that is what is happening. That inequality, that unfairness, that impossibility, the opiate crisis, the living with the toxic wastes, and the people, the 1%ers don't live with that stuff. I don't live with that stuff either, but I do venture into those arenas like Standing Rock or down there. I don't feel that it's right for anybody to earn as much money as I have. I gotta believe it. But I think that I'm trying to do with my good fortune things that I think are valuable and meaningful, but it's unjustified. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, and then it doesn't make sense for people who earn 100 times what I earn, or 1,000 times, which is what goes on. Why are we allowing it? That is one of the ways. Why would we say that we're going to divide society into the haves and the have-nots? Let me see if this is Elizabeth again. And no, it is. Okay. So the fact of the matter is, like Martin Luther King, the fact of the matter is that if we don't change these things, if we don't change the systems that create hierarchies of racism and hierarchies that are extreme of haves and haves not, I'm not saying you shouldn't be rewarded for your hard work. I'm not saying that there's no, but beyond a certain point, it's crazy. That's why when in the era of Peter Paul and Mary's first success, 90% after a certain amount, we were charged 90% tax rate on whatever we earn over that. So here it is. Come mothers and fathers, and now come the senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't lock up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one. No, that's not. No. Come, senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Come, others. Oh, the times they are changing. The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now, how will later be last, and the first one now will later be last. The order is rapidly changing, and the first one now will later be last. For the times they are a-changing. For the times they are a-changing. Well, they are changing, and they have changed. And they haven't changed for the better in a lot of ways. And that was because, oh, Elizabeth Kolodny. Okay, Elizabeth, email me the message because it's not coming down. Let me see. They called it, no. Oh, no. Edwin just passed away. We sang to him. I sang to him today. Edwin Figueroa. Oh, my. And we could hear him. He wasn't intubated. Oh, my. Oh, I'm so glad we were able to do that. Oh, my. And so this is for Edwin. I'm going to say what we said then, and maybe Maribel and his daughter Bridget will be able to hear this. But we told him how extraordinary his work was. And Mark Weiss, our director of education, told him that I've watched you have been my teacher, even though Mark was the head of it and had developed a lot of the technology. He had that magic heart. It was not just about technique, it was about his heart. That it would move the students, and that's what it was about. And so, this was the song that I sang. It's for Edwin. We had at one point, I think about 8 trainers that would go out and train hundreds and hundreds of teachers. He'd fly all over the country to do it. I'm a little boy with glasses, the one they call a geek. A little girl who never smiles, 'cause I've got braces on my teeth. And I know how it feels to cry myself to sleep. I'm the kid on every playground, the one that's chosen last. A single teenage mother trying to overcome my past. You don't have to be my friend, but is it too much to ask? Don't laugh at me, don't call me names. Don't get to your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me someday. In God's eyes, we're all the same. One day when we are the same, together, we'll be closer to that place that I was talking about in the times they are changing. I'm the beggar on the corner, you passed me on the street. I wouldn't be out here begging if I had enough to eat. And don't think that I don't notice that our eyes never, never meet. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. Don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. But we're not perfect now. So don't laugh at me. I'm fat, I'm thin, I'm short, I'm tall, I'm deaf, I'm blind. Hey, are we not all? I'm black, I'm white, and I'm brown. I'm Jewish, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I'm Buddhist. I'm Hindu, I'm a practitioner of Native American spirituality. I was born in Kosovo. I was born in Northern Ireland. I was born in Africa. I'm Hutu, I'm Tutsi, I'm gay, I'm lesbian, I am American Indian. Very, very young, I'm quite aged. Born in Iraq and Afghanistan, born in the Sudan, Mexico, Canada, the United States of America. I'm Israeli, I'm Palestinian, I'm very wealthy, I'm very poor, I'm very poor, I'm very poor. Don't laugh at me. Please be my friend. Please be my friend. Please accept me the way I am. No one should be left out. We all should be included. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. Don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land, and of liberty. It is to thee I sing. So I was going through a lot of thoughts while I was going through that, of course, about Edwin, about the many people who are perishing or destined to perish. I was saying on the phone today, it's like the plagues, you know. In order for Pharaoh to let go of the slaves who happened to be Jewish, there were terrible things that happened, you know, and there were plagues and plagues until finally the firstborn of all, save where there was a cross, a red cross on the door, those firstborn children died. It was brutal. It's a brutal, brutal, terrible, terrible thing to have happened. But who is Pharaoh today? Pharaoh is greed. Pharaoh is privilege. Pharaoh is insensitivity. Pharaoh is in power in many places. And this is a plague that in a biblical, prophetic way, is it because there's some persona up there said, okay, boom. Not in that sense, but in the sense that there is a way that the earth has survived for a gazillion years, and not always with human beings. And when the earth is threatened, the earth, it goes through some things that it happen to preserve itself. And then the dinosaurs are gone, and then something else happens. And that is a kind of intelligence that has emanated from the way things have been put together here. I don't know, but I don't believe that the earth is going to be devoid of human life, or no, you'll of life, but I don't know. I do know that the coronavirus is it's not the end, it's a warning shot. We've got to change it. And we have to change it in ways that people are doing. They're like, oh my God, this is terrible. But yeah, these many people died, but these many people, according to Bethany, 10,000 people in Europe that would have died because of the air pollution did not. I mean, we have to begin to think about this. People seeing that the sky is blue, the water is running, the fish are swimming. How do we take care of each other? We won't figure it out easily, but we are, if our spirits are together, and we love each other and we mourn together. When Bethany and Christopher and I were in Israel, I'll tell you that story. There was a gathering in New York called the Passover Peace Celebration. It was the time when it was proposed that there was something called land for peace. If land were given to the Palestinians, would a peace be negotiable? And it seemed like that was the beginning of what I understood for many, until recently. It was if everybody knew what was going to happen to make peace. This land would go there, and this trade would go there. And that was not the problem, because it was all figured out. But at the time, that was just getting enunciated. And in New York, there was a gathering. And I remember one of the people who was at the gathering that was, I don't remember if she was with Lauren Bacall, of all people. And I was asked to come there. And of course, people who said, no, Israel it belongs to all of Israel, all of Palestine, it belongs to Jews. That's what to those who are in Israel. They didn't want the peace to go through, still do not. So, and they had forces all over the world that had that belief and still do. I, however, believe that the window for peace is diminishing extraordinarily. And at the time, I said, this was in this was the Intifada that had just begun, which was a rising up of Palestinian Israelis and Palestinians in the West Bank to say, this is intolerable, what we are experiencing. We are under occupation for 40-some years. And well, it wasn't 40-some, it was 30-some at the time. So I said, sure, I'll participate. I'll sing. David Dinkins, who was later the mayor, was then the president of the borough of Manhattan. Ruth Messenger was, I remember who was there, and all was good. And then the apartments started getting calls saying, and one of the kids would pick up the phone and they said, if your father participates in this rally, we will cut off his head. That's not the language of civilized human beings. And of course, they were scared to death. And we got together we had a family meeting, and I said, look, if you're going to have nightmares over this, I'm just not going to do it. And they said, no, go ahead, Dad. I said, look, there are cowards out there. They will threaten, but I'll be fine. And indeed, I was surrounded by a cadre of plainclothes police, and I presented. Later, we found out who it was. It was the Meyer Kahane folks, who are those people that I was talking about. There are many others. So that was the story that I wanted to tell you about this circumstance. I forgot what led into it, so I don't know why I told it to, but that's okay. It was a good story to tell in any event, but what should I say about walls? Some walls must fall. Some walls are made of stone. Sometimes we build our own. Some walls last for years. Some wash away with tears. If there's any hope for love at all, some walls must fall. If there's any hope for love at all, some walls must fall. Can you sing those lines with me? If there's any hope for love at all, some walls must fall. Some walls are lined with gold, where some hearts stay safe and cold. Some walls are made of doubt, holding in and keeping out. If there's any hope for love at all, some walls must fall. With me, if there's any hope for love at all, some walls must fall. Listen, I can tell if you're thinking. You know, it's like Santa Claus. He knows if you've been naughty or nice. I can tell. I can feel it. And a lot of you are, but some of you are not trying. You just say the words, if there's any hope for love at all, some walls must fall. Unless you want to keep the lesson. This is long before a wall was proposed. This is years before the proposed wall between the United States and Mexico. Some walls are lined with gold. Some walls are, what's the verse? Some walls, I got involved in speaking and then I forget what I'm singing. How can you even tell what might be found until you let the walls come tumbling down? How can you even know what might be found until you let the walls come tumbling down? If there's any hope for love at all, some walls must fall. Some walls are built on pride. Some keep the child inside. Some walls are made in fear that love let go will disappear. If there's any hope for love at all, some walls must fall. Some walls are made of stone. Sometimes we build our own. Some walls last for years, and some wash away. With tears. Edwin was working to tear down the walls. That's what his life was like. I think for over 15 years. Edwin, maybe more like 17 years. That's not all he did. I mean, he was a substantial educator and trainer, but he was available to do this. In essence, and I'm forgetting who wrote this song. And somebody can look it up and post it. You can do it on your iPhone and tell me so that I can honor the persons that wrote it. But it's all about caring about each other, empathy and caring and love. So everything I'm singing is dedicated to Edwin. I'm thinking of you on every song that I sing. Edwin, this was a song that I wrote in the middle of the anti-apartheid movement. It's called No Easy Walk to Freedom. And I've sung it on this. I've been doing these concerts over the period of a month. Brother Martin, I'm not just doing, somebody said to me, and others have said, a lot of them said, Peter, you don't have to, hi Holly, good to see you. If there's any hope for love at all, some walls must fall. That's Holly. Some of the people have written to me and said, Peter, you don't have to do it so frequently. People, do it once a week or something. But for the moment, I'm not doing it just because it's important to me to be there for this little community that I've been able to see formulate before my very eyes. I'm doing it for me. Because when I do this, I get centered. I know who I am. And I know that I'm carrying on the work. If Pete were alive, he'd be doing this too, right? That's always I was like, what would Pete do? He'd do this too. That's what we do. Brother Martin was walking with me, and every step I heard liberty. Though he's fallen a million behind, glory, hallelujah, we're gonna make it this time. It's no easy walk to freedom. No easy walk to freedom. Keep on walking, you shall be free. That's how we're gonna make it history. That's how we're gonna make it history. No easy walk to freedom. No easy walk. no easy walk to freedom. Keep on walking and you shall be free. That's how we're gonna make history, Edwin. Across the ocean, the blood's running warm. I hear it coming, there's a thundering storm. Just like we lived it, you know that it's true. Nelson Mandela, now I'm walking with you. No, 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 no easy walk to freedom. No easy walk to freedom. Just keep on walking, you shall be free. That's how we're gonna make history. Now in our own land not long ago, we lived this struggle, and that's how we know. Slavery was abolished, come and freedom's called. Keep on walking, and apartheid will fall. Yes. No easy walk to freedom. With me, no easy walk to freedom. Keep on walking. Keep on walking, shall be free, shall be free. That's how we're gonna make it. That's how we're gonna make history. Bread for the body, there's got to be, but a soul will die without liberty. Pray for the day when the struggle is past. Freedom for all. Free at last, free at last. No. Edwin, you know you've been part of this long, long walk to freedom. Long freedom, it's marching together now. You teachers are walking so that your young children can be free, because that's how we're gonna change history. Yes, Edwin, we're singing to you, my friend. You all were a teacher, but now that ends. But it will not go away, 'cause we'll be walking with you. Nelson Mandela, you know we're not through. No, no, no easy walk to freedom. No, no, no easy walk to freedom. Keep on walking, and we shall be free. And remember, free. There is no freedom without peace, and no peace without freedom. So a peace song is a freedom song. A song of equality is about peace. It's about, because if we love each other, it's simple as this, we will have peace. If we do not love each other, there will be, even if there is no armed conflict, there will be no peace of heart, no peace of mind. So what we must do is rely upon the teachers. We must know that the place that we have to go is a place where we educate our children to realize that what is important in their lives is not money and not fame unearned. No, not the clothes that look snappy that make some people feel bad because they don't have it. No, what is important is that and what's most rewarding is love. And that's what we're here to do, to love each other, manifest our love, care for each other. And we can sense it. I can sense it when I'm singing. And that's it. That's what's going on. Oh, I just have a couple of songs that I wanted to sing. Oh. I want to sing a song that I have to pull the words out for. So you're going to have to forgive me for a second as I read, because I haven't remembered these words. But they are, this is a great song. Here it is. The Weavers sang it, Peter, Paul, and Mary sang it after them. It is because all, because all, men are brothers. Wherever, that's not the. I do it here. I gotta figure. I haven't sung it in many years, but it's okay. I'll get through it, even if I just have to read the words. Okay. Because all men are brothers, wherever men may be, one union shall unite us, forever proud and free. No tyrant shall defeat us, no nation strike us down. All men who toil shall greet us, the whole wide world around, the whole wide world around. Because all men are brothers. Wherever men may be, it should be men and women, but it was written, one union shall unite us, forever proud and free. No tyrant shall defeat us, no nation strike us down. All men and women who toil shall greet us, the whole wide world around, the whole wide world around. My brothers are all others, we're forever hand in hand, where chimes the bell of freedom. There is my native land. My my sisters' fears are my fears, yellow, white, or brown. My brothers' tears are my tears, the whole wide world around. My brothers are all others, forever hand in hand, where chimes the bell of freedom. There is my native land. My sister's fears are my fears, yellow, white, or brown. My brother's tears are my tears, the whole wide world around. Let every voice be thunder, let every heart beat strong, until all tyrants perish, our work shall not be done. Let not our memories fail us, the lost years shall be found. Let slavery's chains be broken, the whole wide world around, the whole wide world around. Let every voice be thunder, let every heart be strong, until all tyrants perish, Edwin, our work shall not be done. Let not our memory fail us, the lost years shall be found. Let slavery's chains be broken, the whole wide world around, the whole wide world around. Da dee da da da, dum, dum, da, dum, da, 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 da. It's a good tune. I think Bach wrote it. Da, 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 Bach, Edwin. Da, 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 dum. Da 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 dum dum da da dum 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 da dum 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 the whole wide world around. Because all men are brothers, Edwin. Because all sisters are sisters. Let slavery's chains be broken. The whole wide world around. Next time I do it, I will have reviewed the chords and I will play it. Peter Paul there recorded, and then we also recorded with the Dave Brubeck Quartet with Desmond on sax, and it was so powerful and so beautiful to hear that. I don't know if you know who he is, but Dave Brubeck, Take Five was his huge hit, but what a musician. I've got another song to sing for you. Also another Please Help Me Remember the Words song. Oh no, Some Walls. I sang it, but I didn't, but I remembered some walls are built on pride, some keep the child inside. So I got through that. But I have other songs that I wanted to sing. And I'm trying to read because I made notes. And there was one up here I think was important that I thought was, let me see, Day is Done, If I Were Free, down by the riverside. Greenwood, I'm in Love with a Big Blue Frog. I did that the other night. Here's one I've never done here, I don't think. Maybe I have. Well, 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 who's that a-calling? Well, 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 hold my hand. Well, 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 night is a-falling, spirit is a-moving all over this land. God told Noah, build me an ark, build it out of a hickory bark. The old ark will move it, and the water start to climb. God said, fire, not a flood next time. Well, 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 who's that calling? Well, 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 hold my hand. Well, 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 night is a-falling, spirit is a-moving all over this land. God set fire coming judgment day, said all mankind gonna pass away. With thunder out of heaven coming Gabriel's call, and the sea's gonna boil and the sky's gonna fall. Who's that a-calling? Hold my hand. Night is a-falling, spirit is a-moving all over this land. World's not waiting for the Lord's command. Build them a fire that will sweep the land. With thunder out of heaven coming Gabriel's call, and the sea's gonna boil and the sky's gonna fall. well, well, who's that a calling? Well, 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 hold my hand. Well, 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 night is a falling. Spirit is moving all over this land. Well, well, well. I've kind of been reluctant to sing that because Bob Gibson, who wrote that, who was a great, great songwriter, a great singer, he wrote that prophetic song, world's not waiting for the Lord's command. Build them a fire gonna sweep the land. With thunder out of heaven coming, Gabriel's call, the seas are gonna, the sky's gonna boil and the sky's gonna fall. Well, well, well. You know, Pete Seeger was very, very pessimistic. He had moments, I remember when he sang at the inauguration of Barack Obama, he was getting optimistic. But he sang, I'll give it one more try. It's too soon to die. And because I love you, I'll give it one more try. It's too soon it's a rainbow race to let it die. I'll get that song out too, to sing it. You know, we're caught in this place where things are happening and will happen. I knew it was going to get a lot harder. We all did. As the coronavirus spreads to those areas that think they are protected and people like Edwin, you know, fall, and my college roommate, Larry Glassberg, and Harvey's granddaughter, Harvey Freeman, my other roommate, his granddaughter is 24 and has the coronavirus. And what will it take for us to realize that if we don't honor each other and love each other, this is not going to work? What we need is not technology as much as love and heart and compassion. We can do this. But out of this must come the bending of that arc that Martin Luther King spoke of towards love. And the timeline on it now is extreme. Because in 8 years or sooner or later, when we have uninhabitable portions of the world and hundreds of millions of people say, I must go someplace, that is when others will shut the door, say it's ours. You cannot be here. And what does that do for the people who are keeping themselves inside? It gives power to an autocrat, to a dictator, to say, I'll keep them out. Just give me the power. They understand that. Fear and hatred, fear of each other and hatred. Come. That's what America is about. Coming together. You I said I was going to sing songs of the movements of the 60s, but things shifted, but I did stay on the topic. These are songs of the movements. I'm going to sing you something else now that's that I sang the other night, but I want to sing it again. I'm going to unzip my black jacket because I don't need this at this point. And I did have Mary Beth cooked the most wonderful, wonderful meal. She took the breast of a turkey, and she turned it into a magical thing. She did. And she made a stuffing, and there were potatoes. And when I go down, sometimes the other night I cook, but I don't cook as when we're in Telluride together. I do a third of the cooking. And the other night I did cook a pasta that worked out pretty well, but not on the nights that I'm doing these concerts. All right, here goes. Lift us up. Make our stand. Let love triumph in our land. Lift us up. Make us strong. Give us courage, Edwin, to right the wrong. Lift us up. Make our stand. Let love triumph in our land. America, our hopes and dreams are truly all at stake. Let not the hate divide us. Let not our spirit break. Let not our courage falter. Let not our bravery fail. Let unity bring victory. Let love prevail. Lift us up with me. Lift us up. Make our stand. Make our stand. Let love triumph. Let love triumph, Edwin, in our land. To Elizabeth Bellagny, lift us up. Make us strong. To Mark Weiss, make us strong. Give us courage. Give us courage to right the wrong. Give us courage, give us heart, give us strength, give us a love, give us whatever it takes to educate our children so that they know the gifts and rewards of what life is all about, that we have learned. I work in a hospice. I go there, I'm a volunteer. I sing songs, nobody, I live with the people. Been on the board of the Connecticut Hospice for a long time. Nobody's wearing their jewels. They're talking about how much money they've got or they've just made in the stock market. It's all about love. It's all about caring. It's all about feeling safe, not fear. So, Edwin, it's all about educating the next generation, and this time knowing that it's this sacred task must take place. And now We're going to do the sacred version of Puff the Magic Dragon. Oh, the magic dragon. Oh, magic dragon. Oh, but the magic dragon lived by the sea. Edwin, he played to the children that you cared for, and they were happy, and little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff, and he brought them lessons in Don't Laugh at Me, and that was exactly enough. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout. Perched on Puff's gigantic tail, and noble kings and princes would bow whenever they came, because they said, look, we have the title noble kings and princes, and we are that because we've inherited that, but we no longer have the billions of dollars, but we're still the kings and princes. But now we can hang out with you because we don't have to be afraid that you're going to take our money, because we don't have it anymore. And you don't have to be looking at us with dollar's eyes in your eyes and humiliate us and think that we're not valuable except for that. So let's just hang out, okay? Noble kings and princes would bow whenever they came. Pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff roared out his name. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon now lived by the sea father, and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea. It was something that Elizabeth sent to me today that I must share with you, that is off the scales extraordinary. I'm going to show it to you on my cell phone, but I totally got it. This is what it's about, folks. This is so incredible, and I'm going to show it to you, but I have to find it first. And the reason I have found it, it is in one of these group, Elizabeth Kolodny. Oh, I know, I think it's an email, no, I don't think so. Well, maybe it is. Hang on. This is stunning. And now, Elizabeth, appear, manifest yourself. Okay. Elizabeth Kolodny. Elizabeth Kolodny. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. No, I think it was one of these streams. Okay. It's worth sitting here for a moment. I remember seeing it. Oh, here it is. No. Will I give it up? I might. Let me check to make. No, I know that it was on. Hang on. I'm sorry. Here it is, I think. Yes, I think this is it. I think this may be. This is it.
Tell me the one about the virus again.
I'm going to start from the beginning.
That one's my favorite.
Maybe it goes on the side. Will you go on the side now?
Okay. Snuggle down, my boy. The one.
Here we go. This is better.
Tell me the one about the virus again. Then I'll go to bed.
But my boy, you're growing weary.
Well, I'll start it once more. I have to steady my hand. All right, here we go.
Tell me the one about the virus again. Then I'll go to bed.
But my boy, you're growing weary. Sleepy thoughts about your head.
Please, that one's my favorite. I promise just once more.
Okay. Snuggle down, my boy. Though I know you know full well. The story starts before then. In a world I once would dwell. It was a world of waste and wonder, of poverty and plenty, back before we understood why hindsight's 2020. You see, the people came up with companies to trade across all lands, but they swelled and got much bigger than we ever could have planned. We'd always had our wants, but now it got so quick. You could have anything you dreamed of in a day, and with a click. We noticed families had stopped talking. That's not to say they never spoke, but the meaning must have melted, and the work-life balance broke. And the children's eyes grew square, and every toddler had a phone. They filtered out the imperfections, but amidst the noise, they felt alone. And every day the skies grew thicker, till you couldn't see the stars. So we flew in planes to find them, while down below, we filled our cars. We'd drive around all day in circles. We'd forgotten how to run. We swapped the grass for tarmac, shrunk the parks till there were none. We filled the sea with plastic, because our waste was never capped, until each day when you went fishing, you'd pull them out, already wrapped. And while we drank and smoked and gambled, our leaders taught us why. It's best to not upset the lobbies. More convenient to die. But then in 2020, a new virus came our way. The governments reacted and told us all to hide away. While we all were hidden, amidst the fear and all the while, the people dusted off their instincts. They remembered how to smile. They started clapping to say thank you and calling up their mums. And while the car keys gathered dust, they would look forward to their runs. And with the skies less full of voyagers, the earth began to breathe, and the beaches bore new wildlife that scuttled off into the seas. Some people started dancing, some were singing, some were baking. We'd grown so used to bad news, but some good news was in the making. And so when we found the cure, and were allowed to go outside, we all preferred the world we found to the one we'd left behind. Old habits became extinct, and they made way for the new. And every simple act of kindness was now given its due.
But why did it take a virus to bring the people back together?
Sometimes you've got to get sick, my boy, before you start feeling better. Now lie down and dream of tomorrow, and all the things that we can do. And who knows, if you dream hard enough, maybe some of them will come true. We now call it the Great Realization. And yes, since then there have been many. But that's the story of how it started, and why hindsight's 2020.
Isn't that incredible? Oh my God. Elizabeth Kolodny sent it to me. It's just so important because we are going through this reset. Oh, see these. This is not for naught. This is getting me not to go like this because it keeps me up straight. Does it work? You keep asking me that. So, finishing now, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea, frolicked in the autumn in spot on Barbara Burton, land called Honolulu. John Julie Conroy, what a beautiful story. Edna, absolutely. Let's all meet one of these days in my apartment when I can get back there. Dragon lives forever, but not so little girls and boys. Kyler, Wood, playing right? I have one of those shoulder slings they work. Ha ha ha. And so one day night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more. Puff the mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. His head was bent in sorrow, green scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went to play along Cherry Lane without his lifelong friend. Puff could not be brave. So Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his. Why am I not singing it sadly? Because Puff is okay. That was just a momentary lapse. Jackie had to go back to school and he had to grow up. And perhaps one day Puff would see his daughter, and that's what actually happened, you know. But it's late and I want to end this very special broadcast show. My friends, thank you so much, my friends. It's gathering together with you that makes the happy ends of the days as they grow longer, and the nights too. So happy coming together, Edwin Figueroa, and God bless you. Rest in peace, my friend.